Well, hi everyone, Mr. Townsend here,
I'm Miss Treble. Great to see you.
and we would like to go over the instructions for the Middle Ages Assessment. We're really excited about this one. There's a lot of choice. Ms. Treble and I came up with some really good options to hopefully make everybody happy.
I think so.
I think so too. So let's see what we have here. All right. Assessment, Middle Ages Major Concepts. So the instructions are from the topics below. You will pick one topic and one assessment option of your liking. Mix and match, but only pick one topic and one assessment option. We have done all these assessments thus far, so please review previous assessments for inspiration. Let's have fun. What we mean by that is, while the topics might be new, all of these, with the exception of one, all of these options you have already done in this school year as an assessment option. So for your topic, well, let's go over the topics first. We have castles, crusades, feudalism and the manor system, and the Black Death. Those are the four topics you can choose for your assessment. Ms. Treble, what are our assessment options?
So for our options here, we have the blueprint with a mini write-up for the elaboration, similar to what we did for the House of Worship. The Canva book, which we are experts on now. The comic, an essay, tour builder, and presentation in character, which we'll talk about more in a moment.
Absolutely. And for the comic, we want you to, for the essay, we want you to think of it an essay/report. All right, kind of both of those terms. We'll explain them soon. So for your topic, you will include 5 concepts thoroughly explained with elaboration. This is your chance to pick a topic that interests you the most and demonstrate to us your knowledge in a way that you prefer and like. The assessment is a show us what you know assessment. No arguments are required, but they're always encouraged based on the style that you choose.
Good. And so I'll talk about the requirements a little bit. So although each topic and option can be blended, there are still things we're going to be looking for regardless of the topic you choose. So we will be looking for accuracy, relevancy, elaboration, and connections to why it matters, similar to all assessments that we have done. The why it matters is new. I'll talk about that. The assessment may require some or the same amount of effort you have given for past assessments in class. So please be prepared to put in the appropriate amount of work. So this one might require more than what we have been asking for since online learning started. So we're expecting some effort here. So for the new section of why it matters, I'll talk about that. Regardless of the assessment style you choose, you will include a section that connects your topic to the current times. Our society exists and does things the way we do because of how our ancestors lived in the past. So your job will be to include a final part of your assessment that shows you're thinking about why it matters. And we say current times, meaning right now, not like modern times. So try to think of the relevancy for currently.
Yeah, in your lifetime and moving forward. Certainly don't relate it to things 100 years ago. That could come up, but we want to know in the year 2020, how do we still see evidence of this thing or some relevancy? That's going to be different for each of you. But which should you choose? I know when I'm a student and I'm giving a lot of options, sometimes I kind of panic and I don't know what to do. Go slow. Go through the list of topics first. Pick what's interesting to you the most, and then consider the options. So choose the option that best suits your interest in learning styles. This is a personal decision, and it's one that we can't help you make. Think back to everything we've done in the school year, and then read the next page of instructions to make your decision from there. So if you're really interested in the Black Plague, great, but you don't know how to do the assessment, let's go to the next page with our explanation of the options.
So for the explanation of the options, we don't have examples of this assessment to show you because you have done them yourself. So go back and look at what you've done previously and read the instructions for that assessment, all on Google Classroom. If you can't find your project or your assessment, you either lose it or you aren't looking, lost it, or you aren't looking hard enough, or you threw it away.
Yeah, but these are all, or just about all of these. I think all of these are on Google Classroom, at least the assessment instructions. So you can go back and check those. So of course we have information for you on this page that we want you to read yourself about what that assessment style means and when we learned it. But Ms. Treble, would you let's give them a little bit of this presentation in character, because this assessment was actually going to be done in class with you in character, but we can't do that. So here's the option.
So for presenting in character, what is it? It is a video recorded presentation done in character. So think of the videos like William and Margaret style, what we have been showing you for the past couple of weeks.
Right. You wouldn't just be Mr. Townsend and Ms. Treble talking to the camera. You take on the role of somebody who lived through that time. Maybe you're presenting from your time period, and teach us about it in character. You don't have to have all the fun costumes like we do, but certainly try your best. Find a fun prop or two. So when did we learn to do something like this? We haven't. You'll have to figure this one out on your own. Only pick this option if you already know how to use digital video making tools. Please don't email us with questions of how do I make a video? We can help you a little bit on how we make these videos. The short answer is we just hit the record feature on Zoom and use a virtual background behind us. But from there, you're going to have to figure out everything else. So if you're not comfortable with video recording technology, don't choose this option. We are not tech support. Ms. Treble, are we tech support?
No.
No. I have a degree in history. You have a degree in
political science.
And
technology.
Right. And I have a credential to teach history. You very soon will have a credential to teach history. Ms. Treble, are we tech support?
No, we have no credential in any tech support video editing at all.
Right. There are things I know. I learned them because I Googled them. Please Google the bigger questions you have. Okay, so let's go on to the rubric.
Okay.
We have 3 categories. It's just 12 points. It's kind of a big one. It's how we're kind of almost ending the school year. 12 points. There's 4 points for knowledge of content, 4 points for professional and academic kind of presentation, and 4 points for this new Why It Matters section. Ms. Treble, how do we get mastery in the first category?
So for mastery in knowledge of content, it will contain all of the following. Identifies at least 5 facts or concepts, provides significant evidence and elaboration, which we have talked about since the beginning of time, and all information presented is accurate.
Right. And some of you are used to us sort of cutting you kind of a break on your elaboration skills. I want you to think of this as kind of an end of the year summation. Even if it's not just at the end of the year, you have to show us the skills that you've been taught in here and other classes. Professional and academic, second category. To get mastery, it contains all. Your presentation is clear and demonstrates thought. It's not confusing. It's not scattered and all over the place. It makes sense to the viewer or the listener or however it is you're choosing to present this. Almost no spelling or punctuation errors. And all content is relevant to the assessment topics. What that means is you're only reporting on things that matter to the topic you're reporting on. I think of castles. Let's say right now you're thinking, I want to do castles. Don't give us an essay or a report on Hearst Castle. That was built only 100-something years ago, and technically it's not even a castle. So we don't want to report on Hearst Castle. We want to report on castles or some project on castles. I think you get the idea. It has to tie in to the time period in which we're studying. Ms. Treble?
Yes.
This new section, Why It Matters.
All right. So in order to receive mastery for Why It Matters, you must have the following. Containing original thoughts and words based on your interpretation of what you're talking about and why it matters to currently, to 2020. It must demonstrate a link or connection to current society. And link, I do not mean a link to any sort of current event. I didn't mean that. I meant it as a connection. And elaboration and examples must be provided. You can't just give me one sentence on how it connects to something. We must elaborate and explain to me like I don't know anything.
Right. So to clarify, when you said link, you don't mean a hyperlink to somebody else's website.
No.
Right.
No links to any current events or a website or nothing.
You mean like a link in the chain?
Yes.
Here's the past. Here's the present.
I like that.
The link in the middle.
I like that.
All right.
Exactly.
Now turning it in, this is going to look different depending on the student. And depending on what you choose to do. We will provide separate instructions at a later point on how you will turn this in. But for all writing options, it's probably safe to say right now, create a Google Doc. if you're choosing to do a blueprint, you're going to have to take pictures. And you're going to have to make sure those pictures are clear and that you know how to send pictures from whatever device it is you're using. If you don't know how to do that, don't choose the option. So when you're thinking of your options, think about how you're going to turn it in and what that will look like. For the comic book pages, if you do want to do a comic, that's fine. Back in the Japan unit on Google Classroom, if you filter for that, and you've been taught how to do that many times, the comic book pages are there. So you're welcome to just print them out there. Anything else we want to talk about, Ms. Treble?
No, I think this will just be a really fun assessment, given so many different options. You get to choose what works best for you. And I would have loved that when I was in school.
Yeah.
So I think this will be fun.
Me too. And as far as how long do you have to work on this, that information is also being provided to you separately. Hey, we wish you good luck. We look forward to your questions. Remember, we're not tech support, but we are still your teachers. We're here to help, but we can't answer every small little thing about how do I.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to go back and check your previous assessments that you've done, read the instructions for those previous assessments, and anything else, Ms. Treble?
Please Google before you ask us. If it's something that you can find on Google, don't email.
Right.
Learn to self-navigate through things that you don't know.
I like that. That's one of the biggest skills you can learn
Mm-hmm.
in school. Learn to self-navigate. Okay, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.